This is one of the most disruptive things happening to sports. First off, read this disclaimer carefully. In this video, we will look at the e-sport industry. I have the category here, the theme eSports. This is the average performance from the 52-week lows. This is a huge mega trend. Because of the contagion, the situation, it will be very difficult to arrange real sports in the future. And even before this whole virus situation happened, esports was growing very gradually and continually. However, recently we have seen a spike, and something huge is happening this year. The console manufacturers, Microsoft and Sony, they are coming out with the next generation of consoles. And esports, it's been very interesting so far, but the graphical performance is going to take a huge leap, meaning the graphical fidelity will become borderline real life. And because it is video games, esports, even if we're talking about the classical sports like baseball, there's so many more things you can do in the virtual world to make it more interesting than you can do in the real world. Hence, yes, I do think esports is going to be huge. Just look at the performance here from the 52-week lows. Very big moves. Some of these moves may be a bit extended. We've had companies like Allied Esports Entertainment, a huge move, Fandom Sports Media. Okay, maybe some of them have gone a bit too far too fast. In this video, we will look at Super League Gaming. Let's now. Here is the website, Super League Gaming, and here you can see some of the games. Here are some of the clubs. As you can see, it is a bit similar to regular sports. This is still, though, in a very early phase. Hence, the growth potential here is simply tremendous. This is still very early. It is still something that's more for the hardcore gamers, but it is gradually becoming more and more mainstream. Here is the About Us. Super League Gaming is the amateur esports experience platform that connects and celebrates players regardless of their age, game, or skill level. We are also a content engine empowering and encouraging gamers to participate and create. Whether it's a YouTube video, a Minecraft server, or a gameplay highlight on frame rate, join the Super League community to feel the thrill of competition in a positive, inclusive space while sharing your passion with others who share in yours. Yeah, this is an extremely interesting space, and let's jump into the charts. Here you have the weekly chart for SLGG, is the ticker, Super League Gaming. And you can see here that this one is doing something rather interesting. We have gone from the IPO moving sideways, then a major correction, huge pullback, but we are now moving sideways. You could make a strong case that this is forming a bottom. You have the bottom of the channel here, and here's the top of the channel, and we are basically just shuffling sideways. But there is a very constructive development. The bears dominate. Here we have a much more even battle, and recently this push, it could become rather interesting. You can see that on this week and this week the bulls got really ambitious. We did see some pullback, but there is a pickup in momentum here from the bulls. You can see that the RSI is corroborating the price action. We don't yet have that corroboration from the accumulation and distribution line, so there is some bearish divergence there. Let's jump to the daily data points, like that. Let's load the moving averages. You can see here with the latest move is that we have pushed above many all resistance levels, all moving averages, except the red 200-day moving average. this rally here, it was supported by an increase in the accumulation and distribution line, and the AD line is higher here than it was here, which is bullish. The statistical correlation between S&P 500 is only 17%, so basically there is not really a correlation here. Which makes sense because the dynamics affecting the esports industry are very unique and uniquely interesting, given that this is completely digital. And we are now in an environment which is incredibly beneficial to digital platforms. And let's get something perfectly clear. Esports, of course, it enables you to see competition in war games, which is something that many people are not used to, but can be very exhilarating to see reenactments of World War I and stuff like that. You also have the entire sports industry. You have the Madden games, you have the FIFA games. So any of the normal regular sports, they can be manifested in the esports arena. And this is still at a very early stage. This is a burgeoning industry. This is still in its infancy. And that's where it can have those very tremendous growth opportunities. That also means if you are a big investor, and you always wanted to own a sports club, well, buying the regular sports clubs out there, that would be very expensive, but the esports clubs, you can get them for a bargain. Okay, let's get some fundamentals. Here is Saks.com. They have a #1 strong buy for Super League gaming. Yeah, that's good. So it's not simply the technicals here, we also have the fundamentals shaping up. F value score, not a big surprise. This is a very aggressive growth business. You do not expect value stocks in this space. C growth, F momentum. The industry rank is in the top 23% gaming. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. Of course, you do not get a dividend, but I didn't think you would expect that. Obviously, these kinds of stocks are not dividend stocks. The market cap is $24 million. This is a small company. If you compare it to some of the other contenders here, you see that there are some that are bigger. You have Modern Times Group. That one has more size to it. Racer, they are not a pure play esports. So these are the smaller cap ones, are those that are more pure play. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. You can see that the stock is actually rallying pretty strongly today, up 9%. Yeah, that is just something you need to take into account. This stock, when it moves big. Let's just get some calculations here. So this rally here is like, boom, 70%. If you look at this correction here, the correction is like minus 27%, okay? That would be in like a large cap Dow Jones stock, that would be like a bear market. Okay, but so this is the big percentage move space. It is considered to be overvalued here, but it becomes very interesting when we go to the analysts. The analysts are bullish, they have a buy rating. And you can see here the analyst price targets are very interesting, okay? So the stock is currently trading for $3. The average price target is $5.75. If we do the calculation, the percentage difference from the current price to the price target is 90%, okay? 90% from current levels. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And one of the benefits with this stock being such a small cap, really like a nano-cap stock, is that these stocks are way too small to be part of the ETFs. Meaning you do not have that basket sell-off risk. And also the mutual funds, they can't buy these stocks. They're simply too small. That creates a situation where they move in their own, they have their own dynamic. The year-to-date performance is only 6%. Yeah, definitively super interesting. Let's have a short educational segment about what a bear market is. Okay, so this is bear market anatomy. We have widespread pessimism and fear of loss. For something to be considered a bear market, you usually have the criteria that you would see a minus 20% from highs. But that is more commonly used for like S&P 500 kind of stocks, more large cap. As we saw with Super League Gaming, that one just has minus 20% plus corrections regularly. And it doesn't make sense to say that, oh, it entered the bear market. But this is, the classical criteria. In the bear market, you are persistently making lower highs and lower lows. You go from buy the dip to sell the rip, and support levels turn into resistance levels. What happens is that money moves out of the bear market into other bull markets, which ties into the saying that there are always bull markets out there. One of the classic phenomenon is the fleeing into gold. In many times you also have the flee into government bonds. Bear markets, though, they can hit any product. You typically talk about bear markets in terms of the stock market, but there have been other bear markets in different forex pairs, bonds, commodities, cryptos, etc. And the bear markets can happen at completely different times. So while you had a bull market in stocks, you could have a savage bear market in like a commodity. That also opens up opportunities, because when, as an example, a bear market in a commodity ends, it means that you can then be a part of a new bull market. And of course you can always participate in a bear market by actually being a bear. Bear markets, they can hit both indexes and individual components of indexes. That was a quick intro to bear markets. Let's quickly, towards the end of the video now, look at the S&P 500. Let's look at futures. Yes, this is the action today. We do have some pullback, not really dramatic. Minus 0.40% this far. We have been a bit further down earlier today. As long as the 20-day moving average holds as a support, the purple one here, the bulls, for all intents and purposes, they are in charge. The bulls do, however, have the declining 100-day moving average in blue to contend with. That will put added pressure. And beyond that, there's issues with the trade war, of course, and the many factors on the horizon that could create downward pressure. The big upward pressure we have seen, that's from the central banks pouring liquidity into the market. And the coming weeks are going to be epic, no doubt about it. We will soon know whether this is a full-blown bear market, which many people think. I lean towards that side. But there's also the other side of the argument is that this is a new bull market. But as I have said before, to me it makes extremely little sense that the oldest and longest bull market in history would be followed by the shortest bear market. That makes extremely little sense. Whatever you do, of course, you want to let the trend be your friend, and long term, the outlook for the esports industry is looking really interesting.